Hey guys, my name is Tony. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm going to be reviewing the NES Fight Stick and vertical to horizontal screen mount that is from Intec Gaming. Before I get started, I do want to let you know that the unit and the screen mount were given to me by Intec Gaming for the purpose of this review. This will not sway my opinion though, as I will do my best to show the pros and cons of each. As you can see, the box shows what is inside. We've got the control panel, which takes the cartridge at the top. We've got 2 joysticks, 2 buttons, and then 5 of the menu buttons along the top. This does support video up to 720p, and as you can tell by the shape of this control panel, it is designed as a direct replacement for the Wave 1 control panels of the Arcade1Up cabinets. As it turns out, I had a spare Galaga cabinet laying around that I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do with it, so it will be perfect for this project. Alright, so I've got everything open and laid out for a visual inspection before I begin assembly of this project. Here you can see the actual Intec Gaming control panel, the screen mount, the ball tops, the 2 HDMI cords. Here we have the control panel overlays. I noticed that the Donkey Kong and the Mario Brothers were new. Those actually were my favorites of the designs. Here's a little close-up of them. That Super Mario Brothers one might find its way onto this cabinet. During the inspection, I did find the rubber mounts that go on the bottom of the control panel were loosely in the packaging. I did go in and put them back on, but I was missing one. I won't need that though, as I am installing this into an actual Arcade1Up cabinet. It was nice to see that Intec Gaming correctly cut out the screen mount to help with the proper orientation when installing the new screen into this panel. I installed a spare screen I had into the monitor mount and started it up. Right away I could see that I had a problem. A little under half of the screen was being displayed, and it was showing that it had 720p with the HDMI input, but I was not getting any actual game footage on the screen. So I assumed that I must have installed the PCB incorrectly. So I went in and started checking my connections. Everything was in fact correct. After some trial and error with different things, I found that the screen I had was not compatible with the PCB. The screen I was using was a Walmart Miss Pac-Man 4-game screen. After installing a BOE monitor, everything came on exactly as it should and was displaying perfectly. What better game to do the trial run with than Super Mario Brothers? Here's another little thing that Intec Gaming did to really help out the amateur do-it-yourselfer. The green dot is an indication for the person installing this to know that that is the bottom of the panels. Once I had the bezel installed, I was left with a clear white line to the left side of the screen. The quick and easy way to remedy this was to take a Sharpie and blacken the edge of the white panel. To some that might be a really big ordeal, but to 95% of the people that play this cabinet, nobody will ever even notice that. You would really have to be looking for it to actually see where I had made that adjustment. The time came to actually play some of the games, and Mario Brothers, as you would expect, played just fine. Duck Hunt, on the other hand, it played exactly as you would expect it to play without a gun. Not very well. Fun fact, you can still control the bird with the player 2 controller, Unfortunately, you just can't do anything with the Player 1 controller. I wanted to try out a couple of the Famicom games I have that are old Dragon Ball games, and the first one I put in, it worked wonderfully. Unfortunately for me, I could not understand what was going on, so I kind of got stuck in this screen. The second Famicom game that I tried brought up a blank blue screen, and that was it. Nothing beyond that despite my efforts. Unfortunately, I got the exact same screen when I put in an NES Dig Dug 2. The last NES cartridge I had was the last Starfighter, and as you can see, it did the same thing, just a blank screen. Of the 5 games that I was able to try, only 2 of them worked, so as you can imagine, that was a little disappointing. Regarding the looks of how I wanted to go for the cabinet, I knew that I had come across a design that Justin over at Gulf Coast Decals had on his webpage, and I couldn't think of anything that would fit this cabinet better. The control panel graphic did not quite fit like I had hoped it would, which is to be expected because it wasn't designed to fit this control panel. But as I mentioned earlier, I may go back with the Super Mario Brother overlay that came from Intec Gaming. The last real con that I ran into was something that I actually found quite funny, and that was that the Pac-Man control panel overlay had been printed and cut upside down. I don't know why, but I just thought that that was absolutely hilarious. After the initial pictures and videos had been taken, my 230 plus game multi-cart did arrive, and everything on it plays really well. I still haven't been able to get the other cartridges that wouldn't play earlier to play, so I don't know what's up with that. I don't have an original Nintendo to test them in to see if they work on that, so we're just gonna have to take that for what it is at this point. So what are my final thoughts on the Intec Gaming control panel? I think that it is a good control panel for someone who's not looking to build their own, and they just want to be able to play their old school Nintendo cartridges that they can just literally drop this panel in, swap the PCB, run the HDMI cord, and flip a power switch and go. My kids have never once picked up an NES cartridge in their life before this came out. Now we sit down and we'll play this for, hours on end. They actually sit and Mario, which is crazy because I don't think they knew Mario existed before Smash Brothers. Much like their control panel, Intec Gaming made the Horizonal screen kit a very easy drop-in kit that it only takes a matter of minutes to do the whole thing. If you've ever assembled an Arcade1Up cabinet, you can do this with no time at all. So, do I think the NES Fight Stick from Intec Gaming is worth it? Yes, I am 100% behind them. Does it have minor flaws? Yes. Does it work with everything? Maybe not. I don't honestly know. But I really like their products. I actually have purchased the Genesis one. I also have 2 of the Switch control panels, and if they ever make a Super Nintendo one, I will be picking that up as well. So, that's my review. I appreciate you listening, guys. Have a good night. Real quick, before I get out of here, I did want to end this video with saying that I appreciate you sticking through to the end. This is the first video I've actually done any editing on, so I know it's probably a little rough around the edges, especially with the audio. For the life of me, I cannot figure out why my audio is all over the place. But I hope that it wasn't too bad. If you have any questions or comments or anything, please leave them below or reach out to me. Again, thank you for listening, and you have a good night. I really just don't understand how someone does this for a living. Racking my brain. My God, do I really sound like that? Sounds so damn weird. Shit, did I just delete that? Crap. No. Crap. It's 1 in the morning. It's too late for this shit. I'm going to bed.